Anatomy Season 22 premiere shocks fans. Tragedy strikes Grey Sloan again. Grey's Anatomy is back with a bang, literally. Season 22 premiered on ABC with a devastating explosion that left Grey Sloan Memorial in ruins and fans in tears. The long-running medical drama wasted no time in reminding us that no one is ever truly safe. The episode picked up right where Season 21 ended, the aftermath of the ore explosion. Tragically, Dr. Monica Beltran, played by Natalie Morales, didn't make it. Her heroic final act, saving a young patient alongside Dr. Jules Millen, ended in heartbreak when rescuers arrived too late. Her death shakes the entire hospital and sets the emotional tone for what's to come. Meanwhile, Dr. Atticus Lincoln survives, but barely. Severely injured, his recovery will be anything but easy. Amelia Shepherd, once again facing unbearable loss, seems headed down another dark spiral. Fans are already bracing for her emotional storyline this season. Thankfully, Meredith Grey, portrayed by Ellen Pompeo, remains part of the story, though her appearances will be limited. Still, her presence continues to anchor the show as it moves into its 450th episode milestone. Episode 2, We Built This City, airing October 16th, promises even more twists, including the surprise return of Maggie Pierce, Kelly McCreary. Her comeback adds fresh tension, especially as Winston's new romance with Jules deepens. Creator Shonda Rhimes recently revealed she's unsure how the series will ultimately end, but with 22 seasons and over 450 episodes, Grey's Anatomy continues to deliver unforgettable heartbreaks, resilience, and hope. Stay tuned for more shocking moments, emotional recoveries, and the chaos only Grey Sloan can bring. Hey lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. Grey's Anatomy spoilers. Tragedy strikes Grey Sloan. The team warns one of their own. Grey's Anatomy spoilers and updates reveal as we look forward to Season 22's premiere next week. It appears that grief will once again be a central theme in the story. Following the dramatic explosion that wrapped up Season 21, fans are bracing themselves for what's to come. Fans' fatalities fears were realized. Fans were right to be worried after the preview of the Season 22 premiere showed that there would be deaths and several surgeons missing. We had a feeling that someone from the cast might not make it through the premiere, but seeing Monica Beltran, Natalie Morales, go? That's a letdown still. It makes sense for the writers to remove a major character, especially one who hasn't been around for a while. On the bright side, she did save another patient's life by helping Jules Millen, Adelaide Kane, during a surgery on a boy when the explosion happened. Sadly, by the time help got there, it was already too late for her. Speculations abounded that Link would die. The idea of Dr. Atticus Lincoln, Chris Carmack, dying has been floated for such a long time that it would truly be shocking if they went through with it. We suspect he still has challenges ahead, however, and a long road to total healing, considering how seriously he was injured. The most recent video teaser for the upcoming Grey's Anatomy episode was released, and it clearly suggested that his path to recovery will be fraught with obstacles. In the meantime, Dr. Amelia Shepherd, Katerina Scorsone, will be grappling with her grief, which is also expected, as this character always seems to have a shadow looming over her. Will she ever find happiness? It's a huge question. We're not sure if anyone on this show has endured as much as she has. Meredith Grey, thankfully, will be around for a while, although perhaps not as often. We're really excited to see what the next few weeks unfold for the season, considering the last season's finale implied at least one tragic end, if not several deaths. It's comforting to know that Meredith Grey, played by the talented Ellen Pompeo, will still be around for a while, albeit perhaps not as often. However, there's no guarantee on how long she'll be with us, especially since it's been announced that Ellen won't appear in every episode. For now, let's enjoy the moments we have with her while she's still part of the show. And keep tuning in to see how the injured personnel will switch roles, the doctors being patients. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Grey's Anatomy right now. Come back here often for Grey's Anatomy spoilers, news, and updates. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere review. Season 22 of Grey's Anatomy premiered on ABC this past Thursday. The episode picked up right where we left off, with Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital blowing up once again. After the staff was told the gas tank that was being used to hold some of the doctors hostage was empty, it turns out it really wasn't. Due to this, in the finale of season 21, as Meredith walked away, we saw a big explosion come from the floor yet again. This episode picks up from there with so much drama to unfold. In this episode, we see Link getting injured and almost dying, and Dr. Monica Beltran actually dying. Surgeries are being performed in staircases and in the clinic. On top of that, keeping a critically ill patient alive to get Seattle Perez, there was so much drama to unfold during the hour-long season premiere. Which is why I needed a week to write this and get my thoughts all in one place. While people are mad that Owen Hunt is still such a big character in the show, and as much as people don't like him, I feel the show may not be the same without him, as he has become an essential character since his debut in season 5 of the show. Since he has become such an essential character to the plot of the show, I don't see him going anywhere until the show eventually ends. Overall, my thoughts on the episode are very strong. I happen to have really liked this episode and give it an 8 out of 10. I just wish there was more to the story and that they wouldn't use a storyline they have used before in previous seasons. I think we have seen the hospital blow up, maybe one too many times. But it was a great way to start the new season. I am a little worried for Amelia, though, because it seems like she will spiral out of control yet again. Anyways, the next episode airs tomorrow night, October 16th, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. Also, please let me know your thoughts on the episode by reaching out to me on Instagram at @IdanWexlerMedia, as well as fill out my Instagram story poll posted right after this article went public to tell me what I should review next. 7 updates on Grey's Anatomy Season 22. After shocking premiere death, the long-running hospital drama delivered a heart-stopping premiere, shaking up everything with a major ER explosion that left fans scrambling to figure out who survived. The 10th season opener confirmed that not every beloved doctor made it out unscathed. Pediatric surgeon Monica Beltran tragically died, leaving both cast and viewers in shock. Uncertainty hangs over other favorites too, as cast members like Anthony Hill tease that nobody is truly safe and cast returns are still being kept tightly under wraps. Adding to the drama, Scott Speedman's new acting gig stirs questions about Nick's future, and emotional on-set stories highlight just how intense filming this season's traumatic events has been. 450 Grey's Anatomy episodes later, these are the ones we're still not over. For 22 seasons, Grey's Anatomy has been known for being emotionally devastating. There is joy and romance and dancing it out in Seattle's busiest fictional hospital, but there is also crying. So much crying. These are life and death stakes, people. And while so many episodes out of the now 450 installments of the medical drama make us reach for some tissues the first time we see them, there's an elite group of them that make us cry over and over again every single time we watch them, even when we know exactly what's coming and when. It's a true feat, especially for some of these episodes that originally aired 2 decades ago. It's an achievement to be celebrated, if only so we can all commiserate with others who know the deep emotional pain that is being a Grey's Anatomy fan. Here are the episodes of Grey's that still make us cry, no matter how long it's been or how many times we've seen them. Make sure you hydrate. Into You Like a Train. Season 2, Episode 6. Ask any Grey's Anatomy fan which episodes still make them sob, and there's no doubt that Into You Like a Train is one of the first out of their mouths. It's not that Grey's Anatomy wasn't wildly compelling before this episode, but I don't think anything had emotionally destroyed audiences quite like watching Derek Shepherd have to tell his impaled during a train crash patient Bonnie that she would have to die in order for the other, more likely to be saved patient Tom to live. It was a portend of what was to become par for the course on this show. The entire episode is gut-wrenching, from Meredith screaming for someone to help Bonnie in the OR, she sees herself in the young woman, to Derek having to give Bonnie's fiancé her final words, if love was enough, she'd still be here, to the iconic scene in which Bailey stops the elevator to let Derek have a moment to break down. It's devastating from top to bottom, and it's one of those episodes that can make you cry if you simply think about it for long enough. Losing My Religion. Season 2, Episode 27. Do we still weep when Alex Karev lifts Izzy Stevens off the body of her dead fiancé Denny whilst in her fake prom gown as she sobs, because it still moves us all these years later, or simply because, through 2 decades of training, Grey's Anatomy has taught us that we always must cry when Snow Patrol's Chasing Cars starts playing? Honestly, it's probably a little of both. That song remains an absolute wrecking ball to my fragile emotional infrastructure. 6 Days, Part 2-inch. Season 3, Episode 12. The episode in which George's sweet dad, Harold O'Malley, dies at Seattle Grace is one that will keep you misty-eyed from start to finish. Which is the worst part? When George screams at his dad's surgeons, Weber and Bailey, that they knew better than to continue with Harold's surgery when his body, riddled with cancer, was too weak to withstand it. When George's mother and brothers look to him to tell them if it's time to take Harold off life support, when they do take him off life support. Or the one that really gets me worked up, when it's Christina, of all people, who finds a way to comfort George by informing him that, unfortunately, he's now a member of the Dead Dad Club. When he tells her that he doesn't know how to exist in a world without his dad, she tells him that feeling never really goes away. In her own honest but vulnerable way, Christina lets George know he's not alone in this loss. Some kind of miracle. Season 3, Episode 17. Meredith finds Alice in her limbo afterlife and gets to hear her mother tell her she's extraordinary. Christina demands that the other doctors keep working on a, for all intents and purposes, dead Meredith, and then when Meredith does make her miraculous recovery, a teary-eyed Christina thanks her for not dying. Weber, at the bedside of a dead Alice, tells her he misses the sound of her voice. You knew the episode detailing how Meredith survives following her drowning at the ferry crash was going to be a doozy. But this? No one was prepared for this. Sweet surrender. Season 5, Episode 20. The doctors on Grey's Anatomy are always talking about the patients who stick with them. But what about the patients who stick with us, the audience? One of those patients surely must be sweet Jessica, Mary Charles Jones, who has a terminal case of Tay-Sachs disease, and when we come across her, she has mere hours to live. Her father, Mitt Eldon Henson, refuses to accept it. He wants to take Jessica to Mexico for an experimental treatment he read about. Arizona and Bailey have to continually try to talk him out of this plan. As he frantically runs around the hospital, Bailey winds up holding Jessica as she gets weaker and weaker. It's Bailey who finally gets through to Matt in Jessica's final minutes. Although he begs her not to tell him to stop, Henson's performance is gutting. Bailey tells Matt that Jessica needs her dad now, and he takes her in his arms and talks to her while she takes her last breath. Now or never / good morning. Season 5, Episode 24 and Season 6, Episode 1. You can't watch one of these episodes without the other, and both will make you burst into a puddle of tears, so that's fun. The image of Meredith Grey running into the hallway yelling, "It's George." After realizing the disfigured dying guy who got run over by a bus and has been writing 007 in her hand is actually one of her closest friends, is seared into our brains for all eternity. The one of Alex crying against the wall as Weber, Bailey, and Christina fight to bring Izzy back after she crashes is not far behind it. And the one of Izzy and George meeting in the afterlife elevator? Real fans know we had to wait an entire summer to see what happened after that one. The episode following the intense, Now or Never, chronicles everyone processing their grief in the aftermath of George's death. It's less propulsive and more cathartic and offers the audience some time to silently weep for 42 minutes, which is nice. Sanctuary / Death and All His Friends. Season 6, Episodes 23 and 24. Another pair of episodes that amount to emotional terrorism. The hospital shooting episodes are among the series' best and are about as intense and heart-pounding as Grey's gets, as disgruntled widower Gary Clark comes to Seattle Grace Mercy West seeking justice after his wife dies. From the shocking moment Mr. Clark kills Reed and his rampage begins until the end of the 2 hours, which comes after Mr. Clark turns his gun on himself in front of Weber, and Christina is able to save Derek's life. The show is unrelenting in its carnage and emotional trauma. There are lots of scenes from these 2 episodes that are unforgettable as much as we try, but it's the storyline between Bailey and Dr. Charles Percy that keeps me up at night. After doing everything she can think of to keep him alive after he's shot, she drags him out to the elevators, only to realize they've been shut down because of the lockdown, and all she can do is sit with him as he dies. Everyone in this scene, Chandra Wilson, Robert Baker, and Mandy Moore as Mary, a patient unfortunately along for the ride, will move you to tears. Buckets of them. Disarm. Season 7, Episode 11. The tension is so palpable throughout this entire episode, which has the Seattle Grace Mercy West doctors handling 26 gunshot wound victims after a shooter opens fire at a nearby college not long after their own mass shooting, that when we watch as all of our main characters experience this overwhelming moment of catharsis upon learning that they saved every single one of those patients, that no one died. The audience feels it too. They are crying and laughing together in that art gallery as Christina and Teddy finish their surgery, and we are crying and laughing too. Mostly crying, but that's just how Grey's goes. Unaccompanied Minor. Season 7, Episode 22. Most of the episodes on this list have to do with the Grey's Anatomy doctors dealing with emotional and traumatic situations, to say the absolute least. But Unaccompanied Minor gets all of its emotional heft from the supporting cast playing family members, waiting to hear news about their loved ones after a plane crash in Puget Sound. The news is, not great. All passengers, save for one young girl who was flying alone, die. When some of the family members, still reeling from their own losses, learn that the girl is in surgery and her own parents are still on their way to the hospital, they decide to stay and wait so she has people in her corner. When her mother arrives, they support her too, never revealing that they've all just suffered unimaginable losses. Shout out to Beverly Todd, who plays Gilda, the woman leading the charge to make sure the little girl isn't alone. When she sobs at the end of the episode, I sob. Every single time. Suddenly. Season 8, Episode 10. What's more emotionally devastating? Watching Christina have to tell her mentor Teddy that her husband, Henry, died in surgery and everyone's been lying to her about it for hours, or watching as an 18-year-old has to decide whether to keep her father on life support after she's just seen that both her mother and grandmother have died in a car accident, and she has become the sole guardian to her two younger siblings. Guess what? This heartbreaking episode doesn't make you choose. You get both. Hey, at least you'll end the episode crying tears of joy when Meredith and Derek finally become Zola's parents. That's a silver lining, right? Maybe. I can't tell anymore. Flight. Season 8, Episode 24. Let's be honest. Does anyone want to watch the plane crash episode? No. It's harrowing. Arizona's screams that haunt Christina? Well, they haunt me too. But we do it because we're Grey's Anatomy completists. And we do it over and over again because we're masochists, fans. This is our truth. Another truth. All I need to do is hear Mark say the line, "We're gonna have the best life, Lexi, you and me," and I am instantly in tears. That's all it takes. Gone. Season 9, Episode 1. On paper, it seems like kicking off Season 9 by jumping a month post-plane crash to show us how everyone is moving forward would be a gentle way to ease viewers back into Grey's Anatomy. The real aftermath is revealed in the following episode. But once you realize this episode is about turning off Mark's life support and all of the people who loved him most saying goodbye, there's nothing easy about it. The use of old home videos of Mark throughout his life is especially moving. The one of him holding baby Sophia as she sleeps? Forget it. It is a fitting final tribute to an all-time great Grey's Anatomy character. All I could do was cry. Season 11, Episode 11. Well, cry is in the episode title, so what do you expect? After learning in a previous episode that their child has the most severe type of a birth defect, osteogenesis imperfecta, and will not live long after birth, April Kepner and Jackson Avery decide to induce labor so that the baby, a boy, will not be in pain any longer. They hold Samuel and each other after he's born, until he takes his last breath. They are devastated. Their friends at the hospital are devastated. We are too. It's one of the most emotionally exhausting episodes in the bunch. How to Save a Life. Season 11, Episode 21. It's actually impressive that Shonda Rhimes found a way to make the death of one of the original and most beloved characters on the series even worse than simply having Derek die in a car accident after spending his afternoon saving a bunch of people following their own accident. How did she do it? She had Derek narrate everything these doctors at the small hospital he's brought to are doing wrong. He knows that he could have a chance to survive this if his doctors were more skilled, but he can't speak. He can only watch as they make mistakes. It's brutal. But if you aren't crying by then, never fear. Eventually, we have to watch as Meredith shows up, learns what happened, and has to say goodbye to the love of her life. Has anyone ever really recovered from this episode? The Sound of Silence. Season 12, Episode 9. An absolute brutal watch, and yet it's one of Grey's Anatomy's best episodes. Yes, out of all 450 of them. Directed by the Denzel Washington, much of this episode is in complete silence, giving the audience a better idea of what Meredith is going through after she loses her hearing and her ability to speak, her jaws wired shut, after she is brutally attacked by a patient in a fugue state. Her talk with Weber about forgiveness? We're in tears. When she has a panic attack after her kids are too frightened, by the way, she looks to come give her a hug. Sobbing. But what really leaves me a weepy mess is the look on Alex's face when he sees Meredith on the gurney, bruised and broken. Ellen Pompeo and Justin Chambers are forces of nature in this episode. Shonda Rhimes reveals the one Grey's Anatomy plot twist she regrets. The Grey's Anatomy creator opened up about the worst plot twist the show has ever done. Throughout the years, Grey's Anatomy has delivered countless jaw-dropping plot twists, but Shonda Rhimes says a certain twist takes the cake as the worst the show has ever done. Before her appearance on The Kelly Clarkson Show on Tuesday, October 14th, the Grey's Anatomy creator played a game of First, Worst, Best, where the topic was plot twists. The worst plot twist was, and I'm just admitting this to only you, was when we brought Denny back from the dead, Rhimes confessed. I love that character in Grey's, but we should not have brought him back from the dead. I just like looking at him. The plot twist Rhimes is referring to occurred during Season 5, when deceased former patient Denny DeCat, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, appeared to his ex-fiancée Dr. Izzy Stevens, Katherine Heigl, as a hallucination. Unbeknownst to Stevens at the time, she had cancer that had spread to her brain. The plot point was divisive amongst fans at the time, with many objecting to scene where Stevens gets intimate with the ghost of her former fiancé. As for her first plot twist, Rhimes recalled the Grey's Season 1 finale where it's revealed Dr. Derek Shepherd, Patrick Dempsey, has a wife despite his ongoing romance with surgical intern Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo. Rhimes' best plot twist, however, was not on the medical drama, but rather on her series scandal. At the end of Season 3, it's revealed that Rowan, the main antagonist of the series and head of the Black Ops organization B613, is actually Olivia Pope's, Kerry Washington father. Rhimes stepped down as the showrunner of Grey's Anatomy in 2015, but she continues to be involved as an executive producer. In a recent interview with The Today Show, she admitted she has no idea how the long-running series is going to end. I'd say back around episode 150 I knew how it was going to end, Shonda told Craig Melvin during the October 13th episode of the NBC Morning Show. Now we're at 450, I have no idea. I mean, I wasn't sure we'd get past Season 4 or 5. So the fact that we're here in Season 22 is insane. That was horrifying. Shonda Rhimes admits one iconic Grey's Anatomy death went too far, and she's spot on. Medical dramas are a tried and true genre in TV, and none have had the wild success of Grey's Anatomy. The show still airs new episodes on ABC, and streaming the next day with a Hulu subscription. The mega hit was created by TV icon Shonda Rhimes, who recently admitted that one death in particular was horrifying. As a longtime fan, I've got to say I agree. As some folks figure out how to watch Grey's Anatomy Season 22, Rhimes recently spoke about the show's past. While appearing on the Call Her Daddy podcast, the TV juggernaut and Grey's creator revealed she recently rewatched some of the show, including the infamous plane crash episode from Season 8 that killed Kyler Lee's Lexi Gray. Rhimes said, "So I recently went back and I started watching select pieces of episodes. I watched that episode, and I was horrified. I was like, oh my god, this is like a freaking snuff film. Like, what the heck?" Lexi's is one of Grey's Anatomy's most devastating deaths, and that's saying a lot considering how many beloved surgeons have perished at Grey Sloan Memorial over the years. While Rhimes admits that Lexi and Mark's death made sense for the story she was telling, the manner in which little Grey was dispatched was especially horrifying. But hey, at least Shonda knows what she put us through. Lexi dies early in the episode Flight, where she's crushed under a piece of a plane after its crash. The credits aren't even done rolling by the time she's gone. And to make matters worse, in the Season 9 episode Remember the Time, Christina reveals that animals ate Lexi's remains in the time they were left stranded in the woods. Seriously, Shonda? Later in the same podcast appearance, the accomplished TV creator and writer/showrunner went on to speak about just how hard it was to watch Lexi's death scene. She went on, "I watch it back now, and I was like, I can't believe that actually happened and that people survived watching that. That was horrifying." Well, yes, I can vividly remember watching the Grey's Anatomy plane crash episode for the first time live and having full-body sobs over Kyler Lee's character. Aside from her devastating death, we owe Lexi a collective apology, as she was treated pretty poorly by the other doctors for the majority of her time on the show. And Shonda Rhimes re-examining how she killed Lexipedia is step one. Lexi returned to Grey's Anatomy during the COVID season where Meredith was having her beach hallucinations, revealing she and Mark Sloan were together in the afterlife. The fact that these two lovers didn't get to reunite before their sudden deaths was always a sore point for fans like me, so this helped to soften the blow years later. Our girl just deserved better. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 release schedule. When do new episodes come out? ABC will premiere Season 22 of Grey's Anatomy on October 9th. New episodes will be released on Thursdays, pending holiday breaks, until the season finale. Episode 2 of Season 22 will mark the series' 450th episode. Grey's Anatomy left a lot up in the air during its Season 21 finale. The hit ABC medical drama will return to the small screen on October 9th for its 22nd season, which promises to be as dramatic as ever. The trailer for the first episode teases possible fatalities following a catastrophic explosion at Grey Sloan Memorial. In addition to the potential loss of beloved characters, Season 22 will also include the series' 450th episode. Showrunner Meg Marinis told Shondaland that they hope to include Ellen Pompeo, who scaled back her iconic role as Dr. Meredith Grey starting in Season 19, at the beginning of the season and in that major milestone. Typically when we look at these milestone episodes, we think of how to celebrate and honor the legacy of the show, she told the outlet. The 350th was the trial for Meredith's license. And so, that was kind of like a love letter to Meredith Grey. And in the 400th episode, she became chief of the hospital. Marinis added, so there'll be some kind of big moment that will really honor the legacy and be nostalgic. So when will new episodes of Grey's Anatomy come out? Here's everything to know about the Season 22 release schedule and where to watch the hit medical drama. When does Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere? The 22nd season of Grey's Anatomy will premiere on ABC on October 9th and be available to stream on Hulu the following day. Episode 1 will cover the aftermath of the ore explosion, and Marinis teased in her interview with Shondaland that it's not clear if everyone survived. We have to make sure that our people are okay, and if they're injured, we have to take care of those people first, the showrunner told the outlet. But also, what does it mean to be a hospital with a destroyed floor? That's going to affect how we treat patients, and being the trauma center that Grey Sloan is, are they going to be able to continue to function with this extensive damage? She added, the only two people who weren't in the hospital were Ben, Jason George, and Meredith. So hold on to your hat. While the fate of most of the cast is uncertain, the Season 22 trailer confirmed that Amelia Shepherd, Katerina Scorsone, Teddy Altman, Kim Raver, and Joe Wilson, Camilla Luddington, are alive and more or less well. Like the previous season, the 22nd season of Grey's Anatomy will consist of 18 episodes. Pompeo confirmed to Variety in April 2025 that she will return for 7 of those episodes and continue doing voiceovers for the upcoming season. Episode 2 of Season 22 will mark the series' 450th episode, a milestone Alexis Floyd, who has played Dr. Simone Griffith since Season 19, called Unbelievable. What a privilege to be a part of again, like a community that's been kind of like fostering this feeling of family for going on a second decade, the actress told ABC 7 New York in July 2025, noting that she's most proud of the show's diversity. I'm just a new and very small player and like a huge ensemble of people who have made that possible, Floyd said. But that's what feels like the gift to me is getting to come to work every day and pay homage to people who pour their lives into the betterment of other lives. I think there's nothing really more important than that. What is Grey's Anatomy's episode release schedule? The first episode of Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premieres on October 9th. The network will drop new episodes every Thursday, with a potential mid-season break for the holidays. Last season, the medical drama took an extended hiatus following its fall finale in November 2024 and didn't return until March 2025. The release schedule for the first 6 episodes has been confirmed. October 9th, Only the Strong Survive. October 16th, We Built This City. October 23rd, Episode 3. October 30th, Episode 4. November 6th, Episode 5. November 13th, Episode 6. What time do new episodes of Grey's Anatomy Season 22 come out? The first episode of Grey's Anatomy's 22nd season will air at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC and will be released on Hulu the following day. New episodes will likely follow that same schedule until the finale. Where can I watch Grey's Anatomy? Grey's Anatomy Season 22 Episode 2 new promo reveals Maggie's return. Know what Shonda Rhimes hints about the show's future. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 Episode 2 promises more drama at Sloan Memorial as Maggie Pierce makes a surprising comeback. The new promo teases hospital chaos, emotional twists, and challenges for the doctors. Fans are eagerly waiting to see how relationships and hospital dynamics unfold in the upcoming episode. After an emotional and intense season premiere, Grey's Anatomy is back again with more drama, heartbreak, and surprises at Sloan Memorial Hospital. The long-running medical series, which has now entered its 22nd season, opened with the shocking episode Only the Strong Survive, where Dr. Monica Beltran, played by Natalie Morales, tragically died after being crushed in an equipment collapse caused by an explosion. The loss left Amelia Shepherd, Katerina Scorsone, devastated, setting up the emotional arc for what's to come next. Maggie Pierce returns in Episode 2. The story will continue in Episode 2, titled We Built This City, which airs on Thursday, October 16, 2025, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC and will be available for streaming the next day on Hulu. The upcoming episode marks a major milestone for the show, its 450th episode, and features the much-awaited return of Kelly McCreary as Maggie Pierce. In the new episode, Maggie returns to support Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, and Amelia as they deal with grief following Monica's death. Fans last saw Maggie briefly in Season 20 when she signed her divorce papers with Winston Diggu Anthony Hill. Her return now adds a new emotional layer, especially since Winston's relationship with Jules Millen, Adeline Kane, seems to be growing. Viewers are eager to see how Maggie's presence will affect the pair and what role she will play in the hospital's new chapter. What's next at Sloan? Episode 2's official description teases chaos and change. The team at Sloan navigates a chaotic first day of surgical rotations amid hospital renovations. Meanwhile, Meredith spends time with Amelia. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 Episode 3. Following the emotional chaos of Episode 2, Grey's Anatomy Season 22 will continue with Episode 3, titled Between Two Lungs, airing on October 23, 2025. In this episode, the doctors face a risky lung transplant that pushes the surgical team to its limits, while Dr. Miranda Bailey juggles a complex trauma case that could change everything for her patient. Will Grey's Anatomy ever end? As the series heads toward nearly 2 decades on air, many fans can't help but wonder when it might all come to an end. Even creator Shonda Rhimes isn't sure. Speaking on NBC's Today Show on October 13th, she said, "To be at 450 episodes is amazing, and really all because of the fans and the fact that they've kept watching the show and they've stuck with it and they're excited and invested." When asked about how she plans to wrap up the story someday, Rhimes admitted, "I'd say back at around episode 150, I knew how it was going to end. Now we're at 450, I have no idea. I mean, I wasn't sure we would get past season 4 or 5, so the fact that we're here in season 22 is insane." Rhimes also said that the show's fate may now depend more on the viewers than on her. "I feel like at this point, that decision is not mine as much as it is the fans. I want everybody to end in a really positive, great way." Since premiering in 2005, Grey's Anatomy has followed the personal and professional lives of doctors at Sloan Memorial. Over the years, it has said goodbye to several beloved characters. Now, 22 seasons later, Grey's Anatomy continues to evolve, bringing new faces, emotional twists, and heartfelt moments that keep fans glued to their screens. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and give